Hey, I'm Kev Camelot, Mr. Cunt. Welcome. Oh, it's this guy again. I need to get that restraining order. God damn it.
Looks like one of our development parts didn't fare too well in testing. I've put it on hold for now. You can restart work from the laptop. We're going to have to go back now and make some adjustments in order to get the final numbers looking more like we were expecting from the simulation.
You tell me you failed. Development failed for rate reduction on the central under tray. But we do have an initiative system, so we got a bit more horsepower. So we're going to go without our chassis development for the time being, but we have improved the powertrain and we're going to improve in the aerodynamics at the moment. So let's see what we can do in free practice in Bahrain. In free practice 1, we are doing the tyre wear again. Well, actually, no, we're doing the tyre management. I think we did something different, didn't we, in China? Let's see how we do. And that's a wonderful start, locking up the right front. Not the best start. It looks like we've done much better this time around. For an average tyre wear, let's see if we can get into the purple. Oh, we're just going to miss out time-wise again.
That's all we need for now. Return
Still,
to the garage pronto.
average tyre wear. So Hamilton, Vettel, Bottas, Raikkonen, the Red Bulls, the Williams, the Force India of Ocon and Grosjean in the top 10 with Hulkenberg in 12th. Well, we're at the back, 3.5 seconds back, but we didn't really do a representative that time in the tyre wear in that first practice session. So let's see what we can do in the next one. As in between practice sessions, we are changing internal combustion engine, an MGU-H for the first time this season, as they're pretty worn, over 50%. So I hope that means we don't have any failures in the race. I'm actually going to change it, maybe, or maybe we should keep using them in practice and then change for qualifying. Yes, that's at 71%. That's at 50%. Nah, change it now. And do barely any running in practice now. So we are going to do our race strategy program in practice 2, then do no running in practice 3 for qualifying. But that's a good start. Yeah, we're faster than excellent. We'll be one in the session for once. No, that front lock-up won't help again. And hey, we have good pace. Let's try and go for the optimum.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Let's come out the final corner, get the DRS on. Yes, we've achieved optimal pace. So it's the Ferraris and Mercedes at the top with Red Bull, and then Hulkenberg going to sit doing a super soft qualifying run note. Ahead of the Hasses, the Williams, and the Red Bull of Verstappen doing a medium run inside a longer race run down in the top 10. But we were also doing a race run and we're down in 18th, just ahead of Alonso and Ericsson, and 3 seconds off the pace with Kvyat and Perez in front of us. As in free practice 3, Vettel's ahead of Hamilton with Raikkonen, Ricciardo and Bottas filling out the top 5 with Sainz in the top 10. As we skipped it and Hulkenberg was in 15th, doing a slower time than he did in free practice 2 with Verline and the McLarens and Ericsson right down there as well. As for God's sake, she's on the... She like, doesn't even appear.
Hi, it's Emma. Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
So we got qualifying 12 for higher and beat Hulkenberg. She said she was with the Renault guests. Well, they're over there. Look, there's chatting in the background. Where are they? Where is she? Don't see her at all. All I see is Seal. Chatting to... I think that's Mark. Don't know what he does, but... I guess he's important. But here we are for Q1 qualifying effort. Let's see what we can do around this Bahrain track, which is coming under the lights. So here we are, exiting the final corner. Doing a 32.2. Not bad at all. That's at the end of Q1. Here's the Mercedes and Ferraris right up there. Ocon in the top 5. As we round out the top 10 and Hulkenberg in 13th. So for the first time this season, I believe, the second time in a row after China, both cars are through to Q2. As it is the McLarens and Saubers and the Haas of Magnussen who are out, with the Toro Rossos just surviving. So let's see what we can do in the next part of qualifying. So here we go in for Q3. And look at that time.
2 minutes remaining
This is
in
all
the
that.
session. We need a good lap here, or we're out of qualifying.
Let's lock up the right front. Bit skill on the rear end, no. But not too tight. I mean, look at that mark of 31.7. I'd be very happy to do that. So I'll take too much speed though. Into the right hand. You can see that's majorly compromised us. And the exit. Smooth run through the S's. And then the braking zone, even though we haven't got the exit, the rear grip's gone slightly on these sides. Oh, wide again. We need to deliver that, we're doing poorly. So now go up the hill. What's the second sector time? Second and a half off. That is not good at all. With that second down on our fastest lap. It's the difference of a lap. We have the good run out the final corner. We dipped to the 32s, but look at that. Way off. So in the end is Vettel, Hamilton, Raikkonen, Ricciardo and Bottas in the top 5, and then Verstappen, the Williams and the Force Injuries make it through, with Grosjean and my teammate Hulkenberg just missing out by a tenth of a second along with Sainz. And then there's Kvyat and myself, and look how close it was in the midfield, just half a second separating 15th from 9th. And if I didn't mess up, we'd have gone through into Q3 for the first time, but instead we start in 15th. Let's see if we can climb our way up the order in the race. Gosh, she's not even here on race morning now.
Emma here. Just wanted to let you know what the team are hoping for in the race.
Yeah, we've got to finish 14th or above and beat Hulkenberg and finish 11th or above in the championship. Gosh, she's not here. We've still got Mark and Seal chatting away. Let's go to the race. So here we are on the grid, building the revs up, waiting for the light step here. And go out. Well, there's 29 that race around Bahrain. And this like Magson's got a much better start than us. There's Alonso on the softs. There's a big hold up into the first corner. Toro Rosso's line is third, so I can't make a move. And add Magnussen along the side. Sainz is weaving all over the place. We've got jumped them. Now behind my teammates battling with Grosjean. Looks like he's looking down the inside. And they're still side by side heading towards double left. Got a superb run on him. Down this back straight. We make the move into the fast left. We do swoop by Hulkenberg up into 12. Having a very good run in this opening lap. A bit wide in the penultimate corner though. Still already got a second gap on him. Did he pick up damage in the battle with Grosjean? This Vettel does the fastest lap, and we're going to cross the line in 12th. Very good opening lap. And now we're all over Grosjean into the final corner. On this penultimate, on this second lap even, not penultimate lap. No, this hasn't flown by that quickly. We're not quite close enough to the Haas to make the move, as Bottas does the fastest lap, 35.7.
Okay, entering lap 3.
And now we've got DRS.
Has been enabled.
We did a 36.5 and Grosjean looking to make a move as this Haas sparks out virtually into the back of him. Oh, slightly wide. Losing the back end as well, so we're not close enough to make a move. We can get right in the tail of the house. Oh, can we do what our teammate couldn't? Make the move on Grosjean into the middle sector, barge our way by. Up into 11th. Now we've got the guy who barged into us last time out. Sergio Perez in a points paying position in that Force India. As he gets some DRS, they are getting in the slipstream. The Mexican dive in. Oh, at the end of the straight, side by side, but he's giving it up. And Camelot's in a points paying position again. Missed this in China. He's had a very good start, but now the Force India's coming back after going wide and put on the corner. Get away. We're going to have to concede. We're trying to get the cut back though. But he gets the DRS, but we get the slipstream. So I'm not sure he's going to work it. It's going to work out for us or for him. Nip down the inside, virtually wheel to wheel. He's used to that round here. To go round the outside. Back up into 10th as Massa's fighting. In fact, 3 of them are fighting, and it's like this Stroll and someone else. And it's like it's Massa, Stroll and Ocon who's leading that train. Force India's down on pace. It's opening stint. And oh no, looked up badly. We've got DRS, well that saved the day. So now we've got Grosjean behind us. We've got 9th, 8th and 7th. Both trying to move each other in front. Now I'm leading a train. Grosjean, Perez. Oh, I should have kept it in 4th. Shocking run again out of the penultimate corner. Now Grosjean down our inside. Salmon does suffice that 35-1. We should get the slipstream back. And DRS has in it like Stroll's pitted. Very early stop on that 5. On the inside of the Haas. Give him that car's whip. Again, round the outside up into 9th. As Ocon's got a bit of a gap on Massa. Coming to the end of that 5. We're in kind of no man's land. Got an over second lead on Grosjean. Over a second behind Massa, but now he's pitted in the Williams. So we've got Ocon in front. We're up to 8th. That times are very consistent. Oh, I'd take that any day. Purple first sector. So gain on Ocon. Try and build the gap on Grosjean. It's going on to that 7. A number of drivers are pitted. Hamilton, Verstappen, Vettel, all onto the soft tyres. We're coming in at the end of this lap. You set off fast is that? Took into the 35s. Very handy. Oh, but leaves the back end out the first corner. That's why we're pitting at the end of this lap. So we're into the top 5. So here we come in while Ocon stays out. Very cautious into pit lane, as in it's like Ricciardo's pitted for Red Bull. And Bottas as well for Mercedes. As Grosjean's followed us in. Let's have a clean stop. And that's pretty nice. As Vettel's gone by, so it's Massa, Verstappen, Alonso.
We'll be doing 1 more stop today. 1 stop left in our
And
strategy.
Stroll as well. So we're down to 17th, but a number of drivers got to pit yet.
Okay, some information.
As Bottas is out.
They are out of the race.
I know, Jeff, I've just seen the breaking news. That's very good for us as we've just gone past the stricken Mercedes on the left hand side. Good points beyond the card if you have decent pace. It looks like Stroll's being held up by someone. By Alonso, but it looks like the Williams is DRS by. Yes, Hulkenberg's in the pit.
Nico is in the pits now.
Jeff, you're always like late. You're like a blog compared to Sky News. Just calm it. They tell me everything. There's Nico's in. Ericsson, Sainz, we're back up to 12. Right behind Alonso. He's sticking out again in that McLaren. Like we saw in China. Got superb traction as well. Easily down the inside. And it's like Ocon's come back out in front of Stroll. The undercut did not work for the Williams man. It's working out nicely for us. We've got a similar gap to Stroll and to Ocon than we had previously, so I wonder when Massa's rejoining. And it looks like we've got a similar gap to Grosjean behind as well, so pit stop's not too bad at the moment. It's going on to the 10th, that looks like Verline in the Sauber's keeping it long, but Perez has got the DRS behind us. We dive down our inside. Isn't it like from the Force India? It looks like they've gained their pace on the soft tyres. And now we've got a battle to keep this final point. As here we go for round 2. Perez got the DRS. We're defending the inside though. On their side, Stroll's making a move on Ocon. That was actually Van Dorn in the McLaren staying out on those soft tyres. So we're actually battling for 9th then. Let's approach the end of the 11th lap, and it's like Perez has actually backed off this lap after that early attack. We're easing up to Van Dorn. I'm sure he's going to be pitting soon in that McLaren. Oh, how about now? As Massa's also pitted onto the soft tyres. He's lost out, so we're in 8th. This Renault's flying this race. And 6th isn't too far up the road, so we're in a good shout for some good points. Mustn't get too overexcited though. No components are failing. We haven't had a clean race so far this season. So let's see if we can keep it together. So look up the right front again. We're gaining on Stroll. Maybe the Force India just does have pace for that initial burst of tyre life and then they lose it. He's almost lost the back end there like a pleb. The Stroll's pitting. Why is Stroll pitting? To do our fastest lap. Williams' strategy is just drunk again. We've got Ocon in 6th. Perez behind us. We're in a Force India sandwich. We're running very well, way ahead of Hulkenberg as well. Keep doing this. Not that. This in a straight line, nice and smooth. It's halfway through this race. It's going stupendly well.
You'll be on the mediums.
As we're almost in our pit window, going to pit in a couple of laps time. Going in slightly on Ocon. Building the gap to Perez slightly, but we're like halfway between the Force India drivers at the moment. It's going too well at the moment. So it looks like Ricciardo, Vettel and Hamilton have pitted onto the mediums. So we're going to do that at the end of this lap. As we are closing on Ocon. at the end of this stint and ease the gap to Perez as Hamilton's rejoined behind us. Let's see what we do. We're going to pit, and so is Ocon. So there goes any advantage we would have gained if we pitted earlier. As Hamilton and Vettel go by, now Ricciardo. Looks like Verstappen is also pitted.
Go now.
There's a very good stop from the boys. As Ocon's rejoined in front of us. And Grosjean behind us.
Okay, stay clear of the white
We
line.
rejoin in 12th.
Receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you
And ahead of Stroll, who's on those soft tyres. Very peculiar strategy from Williams. So battling this car in the first sector while the tyres get up to temperature. So Nico's in the pits along with a couple other fellas. So he goes onto the soft, so does Perez. Stroll behind us, so we're back up into the points in 8th. Stroll is right behind us with the DRS. We're just out of DRS range on Ocon. We're around a second behind now. So we have gained in pit stop phase. The forcing just so good in the early phase of stints. We'll bring it back near the end though. So onto that Trinity, we don't have DRS.
Race, keep it up.
Stroll does. Someone's in the pits. Might have been Stroll's teammates. They're going to try and hold it round the outside. We do just hold off the Williams man, but he's got a great run. So we're defending the inside. Up the hill. Get out of here, Stroll. Damn youngsters. We do just hold off the teenager. And on to 7th, as that's allowed Ocon to gain almost a second on us. What you're doing, Stroll. As it looks like behind Stroll is pitted. So we're in a safe 7th now, but Perez has got his faster softs behind. We're locking up. He's gained about a second in the pit stop phase as well. And you put it up to rich mix as we've got loads of spare fuel. Try and catch up to Ocon. We can push on these medium tyres, and look at that purple first sector. Just need to do more of that. So we go towards the final corner, as you can see right on the tail of Ocon. Definitely going to have DRS. We're definitely going to have 6th though. So go our fastest lap. Look at that, by over a second, 34.3. And easy. Around the 4-cylinder, and 6th is ours. Only the big 3 teams in front. Red Bull, McLaren, not McLaren, Mercedes and Ferrari. Maybe big 3 of the slowest teams, McLaren. Or big 2 with Sauber. But we're 12.5 seconds behind Verstappen. We need to build this gap on Ocon to over a second. And then we can turn down the fuel mix, save the engine a bit. In the final stages.
On the MG UK. We need to stay out of rich fuel mode to manage it.
As Jeff just tells us. Is he like reading my mind? Stay out of rich fuel mix. Well, I'll turn it down. The front stretch. As that gap is now over a second. No! 3-second time penalty,
We've been
but
awarded a time penalty. We'll go against our finishing time at the end of the race.
well, pace has consistently matched Verstappen in front. We put a bit of a gap on Ocon. So Raikkonen does the fast out with 33.5. He's penultimate at that. Now Hamilton does it. A couple of tenths of a second. So that 3-second penalty should not affect where we're finishing. Well, it's going to be close towards the line. We go 11.9 behind Verstappen and 4.6 ahead of Ocon. We've got a good enough gap, and in the end it was good enough as Perez has jumped Ocon on the penultimate lap. And we'll cross the line in a brilliant 6th place. Could not have done better.
Super driving.
Jeff, why do you always understate things? That was brilliant.
Now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
It's a difficult one, but I'll have to go for the Renault driver. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
Always like that. Anthony Davidson has Raikkonen 1 ahead of Hamilton by almost 4 seconds, with Vettel 3rd, then the Red Bulls as Bottas retired, and look at that, Camelot in 6th from 15th on the grid. It's fastest that right up there with the Red Bulls as well. He matched the pace of Verstappen in those final laps as he finishes 15 seconds behind. Red Bull driver, of course, with that 3-second penalty for corner cutting, as Perez finished ahead of Ocon in the end. Alternate strategy worked with Massa in 9th and Grosjean grabbing the final point ahead of his teammate by less than a second, with Hulkenberg 5 seconds behind them and just ahead of Carlos Sainz. And behind Sainz was Stroll with that peculiar strategy free stopper in the end, with Verline ahead of X and Alonso ahead of Van Dorn, with Kvyat in last and lapped, with Bottas the only retirement. As after Bahrain, it is Vettel at the championship by 8 points ahead of Raikkonen, with Hamilton up to 3rd, level on points with Ricciardo, who's just a single point ahead of Verstappen, and Bottas down to 6th with his retirement. Perez is ahead of Ocon by a single point, then Sainz ahead of Camelot, who are now level on points, with Grosjean 11th, Massa 12th ahead of Stroll, and Kvyat in 14th, and Hulkenberg the final point score now in 15th, with Magnussen and the McLaren Sauber yet to score. As in the constructors' standings, Renault leapfrogged up to 6th, Red Bull up to 2nd ahead of Mercedes by 2 points, while Ferrari have a 37-point lead. Force India 4th, Toro Rosso in 5th by a single point, as Williams dropped down to 7th, with Haas in 8th, and McLaren Sauber yet to score. So in the rivalry, in next night, we've gained back some. 3-2, and then in qualifying it's 2-1, so 5-3. So we gained back a bit, but still down. Look at that fastest, our over a second faster, and much better finishing position. Not penalty free though. Yes, that's made our team very happy. We're back in average land. And now at night, you can look around. He's always talking to Sil, and you're in the races. Maybe I need to start doing that. As next time.
Hi, how are you today?
Oh,
the improved
God's
package has arrived. We're having it fitted in time for FP1. Have a look at the factory report.
You're making me look at paperwork now. What is with this guy? As we have improved our front downforce to front wing main plane. Gives us percentage of downforce. Let's see if we can develop anything else though. We can redevelop this rate reduction to central under tray, which would give us a performance just above Williams then. Let's do it. And now we've got no resource points. And next time out we'll be going to practice 1 in Russia. So sign up for watching. I'll see you then.